to the Comic on Demand show.
All right, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. My name is Mark Harmon. I was going to say, as you can see from the sign behind me, but the chair's blocking it, so no, you can't. Anyway, my name is Mark Harmon, and you are watching the Comic on Demand show. This is the live drawing show where I will draw a 4-panel comic that will look something like this. Ta-da! But, as you can see, it is blank. That is because I am going to let you tell me what to draw. How does that sound? So, here's how it's going to work. I am going to take your suggestions. I'm going to take 2 suggestions and I'm going to combine them together to create this 4-panel comic. But I do have some rules because of course I do. All right. Rule number 1, I will not take any suggestions of anything that's already copyrighted, like SpongeBob, Superman, whatever. Because you know what? I have reasons for it. Number 2, I try to keep the show PG, so no suggestions of anything past some sort of PG idea, I guess. And rule number 3, no celebrities, sports mascots, stuff like that. Okay? So this is our chance for you and me to be creative, okay? So stuff that already exists, like Superman and stuff, that stuff has already been created, right? Somebody was already creative when they made it. And so let's not just be recreative. Let's be creative. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, right? Okay. So, so let's be creative. So think of something that you want to see me draw and, we'll do it. Okay. So here's how it's going to work. Make sure you can see the chat because, I'm going to put the word go in the chat. And then when you see that, then put your suggestion in. And then the first 2 that come in after that, those are the ones I'm going to use to make this 4-panel comic, okay? So you're going to see a different screen going to pop up with some dancing dudes. And hopefully, if I time it right, that and the word go will pop up at the same time. And then give me your suggestions, all right? Sound good? Okay, so let's do it. Let's get those suggestions right now. All right, we have our first 2 suggestions. Our first suggestion is a doctor doing surgery on an alien. And the second suggestion is Grizzly Bear on paddleboards. Okay, so I am going to right there. Okay, I'm going to put these suggestions right here so that I can forget they're there and forget what the suggestions are. Even though, I mean, it's for the viewer mostly that, you know, the suggestions are going to be here on the top of the screen so that you always know what I'm drawing. But the problem is I don't always know what I'm drawing. All right. Because I don't look at that part. Oh my goodness, I can spell. Doctor doing surgery on an alien. And Grizzly Bear on a paddleboard. Oh, that was right. Okay. So now you know what I'm drawing. Okay, a doctor doing surgery on an alien. Okay, got it. All right, I have an idea. Okay, so we're going to start with the opening scene here of an alien. Doing the alien on some kind of operating table thing here. Now we'll just make it straight. I can't draw sideways, so I'm gonna have to turn my paper sideways. Okay. Now draw the little doctor dude. This thing's kind of in my way here. Have I drawn a surgery thing before? This seems familiar. Like I've already drawn a surgery thing, because I'm pretty sure I made some kind of comment about what in the world this thing is. Like, is it a mirror, or is it something to like bounce the light to then shine light into where they're working or something like that? I can't remember. Do surgeons wear shirt and ties? Yes, I did. See, I knew that I did. I knew that I've drawn some kind of a surgery before. Okay, let's see. Something like, oh boy. I've never done surgery on an alien before. On an alien. I know how to spell. Instead of spelling B4, I was about to spell B-roaf. Yeah, anyway. A little dyslexia much? Okay. It involved a dragon. Oh, something like a heart surgery. Was it specifically heart surgery on the dragon? Something like that. That sounds familiar. Okay. Oh, and I had like a saw, right? It was like, I had like because it was the second panel. It was like a big saw, like. I made it like kind of super foreshortened, right? Like this. It was like. It's coming back to me. My memory. I got it. Okay. Okay. What does, hold on, I have to like look at my own hand here for reference. You were too late. The ad says 7, and it is 7:12. See, the problem is this illustrator didn't even fix his lawnmower. He just replaced the carburetor and thought that fixed the lawnmower, but it still had some kind of other problem that I still have yet to fix. I think it just needs a new belt, maybe. And do you think I ordered a new belt? No. No, I didn't. Okay. I was going to say something like, well, here goes nothing. Okay, do a little tilted panel here to hang on. All right. Where's my big eraser? I can't draw things upside down. Drawing upside down, drawing something upside down is like trying to write backwards or in a mirror or something. Although writing backwards in a mirror would just be writing forwards. You know what I'm saying. Well, that's an upside down alien. You get the idea. Drawing's hard, okay? Okay, so I think he needs to say something here. I write upside down and backwards at work every day. You should practice. What? Why? Why should I practice that? No. No, I don't think I will. Okay, so here's the question now. How you know what, if I just make it black inside? Yeah, that works. I wanted to show the alien like cut open, you know, like it's got a hole. And I was like, how do I make a cut open alien PG, you know? But then I just thought of like old cartoons. Just make it an empty black hole. Or like on Tom and Jerry, when Tom would like get cut in half by an axe or something. He would get cut right in half and split open, but the inside would just be blank. It'd just be like a blank, like whatever color Tom, like a gray. It was just like a gray color, right? And he would just get cut open and split in half, and it would just be gray. And that's how they got away with it. There was no guts or anything. Okay, I'm sorry, but this grizzly bear on a paddleboard is going to be really tiny. Just because I didn't really quite think about it, that it would have to be tiny. It was just the very first thing that came to my mind was that the surgeon would cut into the alien and pull out the bear on a paddleboard, and that'd be the joke. Then I was like, well, I guess I'll make it a picture. I don't know. But then as soon as I started drawing it and realized it was going to be a picture of a bear on a paddleboard, I realized that's going to be small. Okay. Anyway, so there's the joke. It says, oh boy, I've never done surgery on an alien before. And he says, well, here goes nothing. And he cuts open the alien, says, I see the problem, and he pulls out a picture of a bear on a paddleboard. That's it. That's the joke. That one seems pretty straightforward, where, I said I would combine take the two suggestions and combine them together. I mean, technically I did, but I kind of just phoned it in there. Anyway. All right. So last time might have been a glitch when he was beamed up by the alien. Could have been. So I had this last episode. I try to do something new a little bit, and that was just to see about doing a shorter version of the show. Because I don't know, I feel like maybe an hour is a little long, but I don't know, maybe it's not. I don't know. Is an hour very long? So I was kind of thinking of not doing the inking part and just doing this part where I draw it, and then that's it. Just to make it kind of not so long. But I guess if it's not a big deal, I don't know. What do you all say? Is it a big deal? What I'm saying is, you're not gonna hurt my feelings if you say that. If you're like, yeah, an hour is kind of long. Maybe make them shorter and more compact, You're not gonna hurt my feelings if you say that. Because I was kind of thinking it myself, but see, the thing is, my wife said that she likes the inking. So I'm like, oh, well, I gotta do it with what my wife likes, Well, saying it twice doesn't count as 2 votes. Saying it 3 times doesn't count as 3 votes. See, there was another part of me too that was back in the day, I would watch artists on YouTube doing stuff, and they would always just ink it. They would start their video with a drawing that's already drawn, and then they would just ink it. But I was like, oh, I want to see how they got there, I wanted to see the process. I was like, I don't want to just see someone inking something. I want to see how they actually drew it and how they actually, came about the drawing. And so that's why that's one of the few reasons of doing this show. Is just so people can actually see the process. In real time. I mean, in a way it's terrifying for me, but it might be fun for you. Might be fun to watch me struggle. No mid-suggest. Oh. Nope, I guess not. No mid suggestion this time, folks, because I forget it. I mean, I could just do it now, but I don't know. I think I've kind of, I don't know. I forgot. I forgot about the whole mid-suggestion thing. I feel like these last couple months, just with my back being out and stuff, like I feel like I haven't done the show in a while. And it's almost like I forgot how to do it or forgot what I was doing. Do it. Okay, you know what? Fine. Okay. Okay, well, I'll do it. Okay. This is the time of the show that is called the mid-suggestion, okay? So it's just like the first suggestion, except now it's in the middle. Hence the name mid-suggestion, huh? So, same rules apply. You remember the 3 rules. If you don't, you know, by this time, at this point, I don't even know what to do with you. If you don't know the rules, anyway, so let's do it. So, mid-suggestion, go. All right, we have our mid-suggestion of snot bubbles. Snot bubbles. Snot bubbles. Okay. I am going to erase this guy's face mask. There's going to be so many, like, look at this. Okay, at least like in the sketch, right? You've got the doctor's visor thing, and then the eyeballs, and then the bubbles. And it just looks like 4 eyeballs. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun to try to make that image clear. That was kind of one of the things that I remember from college in the illustration class was that, you know, your job as an illustrator is to communicate and to communicate clearly. So that means, like, no matter what it is you're saying or doing, you should be able to show your image, and within like 1 or 2 seconds, you should be able to show your image for a second or two, then throw it out. And someone should know what you were trying to say, like the message you were conveying or whatever. That was kind of I don't know if every professor teaches that idea, but at least my professor kind of taught us that idea of it should be clear and easy to understand. And I think that lesson was, the assignment was to recreate Robin Hood. So it was kind of like, you know, recreate Robin Hood in any way you want, but no matter what you do to redesign the character, it should still read as Robin Hood, like instantly, even if it was some sort of like crazy cyberpunk rendition of Robin Hood, it should still read as Robin Hood as soon as you show it, kind of a thing. Does that make sense? And I remember on that assignment, I kind of did a little bit of a cop-out, and I made him a very like traditional Robin Hood with like the green outfit and the bow and arrow and all that stuff. But my spin on it was that I made Robin Hood like big, like I made him like sort of like a big fat dumb guy. Not that all fat people are dumb or that dumb people are fat, but my character was just like the Robin Hood standing there with a bow and arrow, and he was just a big like dumb dude, and even like the arrow was backwards. So my idea for the Robin Hood was basically that Maid Marian was Robin Hood, and she was the one that did everything, but she did it for whatever reason, Robin Hood was still like the main character. It's kind of like, you know what? I think I was basically just copying, like, did you guys ever watch Inspector Gadget? Where the show is about Inspector Gadget. He's the main character, but he's kind of stupid. And so was it his daughter or like his niece? Was she always saying like Uncle Gadget? That sounds right. I think it was his niece Penny, and the dog. I don't remember the dog's name. I'm blanking. So the niece Penny and the dog were like the smart ones, and they were the ones solving the crimes the whole time. They just made it look like Gadget solved the crime, but Gadget was just stumbling around like a bumbling idiot the whole time. So the cartoon was all about him, but he like didn't do anything. He was kind of an idiot. Anyway, so I was basically just copying that. So it was like Robin Hood was an idiot, and Maid Marian was the person actually doing everything, except Robin Hood still like got the credit for it or whatever. The dog was Brain. That's right. But yeah, in graphic design, that's also, I think it might even be more important or prevalent in graphic design for something to read quickly and easily. Even if you're trying to make it like cool and weird, it should still read. The dude had cybernetic parts in his skull. The fact that he could think at all is impressive. Yeah, he had a straight, like, he had a whole helicopter in his head. He hit a button and like the thing came out, and it was like, like, dude, he had to stuff a whole helicopter in his head. It's true. There's not much room for a brain, you know. I'm pretty sure if I had to stuff a whole helicopter into my head. Or was it in his hat? Because it would come out of the hat. But I don't know if I remember an episode where it came out of his head. Was the helicopter in his hat and not his head? I don't know. The trick to drawing a bear is to make it look like it's not just a big giant mouse. guess if you just don't give it a long tail, then it'll be all right. Okay. It's true. The hat never came off. So the hat was his head, maybe. His head was the hat. I don't know. This is one of life's greatest mysteries. All right, there it is, people. There is your Comic on Demand of see, I just drew it, but I didn't know what I drew. There's your Comic on Demand of a doctor doing surgery on an alien and a bear paddleboard, a grizzly bear on a paddleboard. Now the question is that a grizzly? Because that looks a little more polar bear, maybe. I don't know. You know what? I don't care. I'm saying it's a grizzly bear. Oh, with the mid-suggestion of snot bubbles. Anyway. There it is. There's your Comic on Demand, people. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for giving me suggestions. And thanks for watching. And, what do I usually say here? I don't remember. Other than just thanks for showing up and supporting me and watching and hanging out. Anyway, have a great day. See you next. No. Actually, I will not see you next week because I'm going to be out of town next week. So see you in 2 weeks. Sound good? See ya.